You are Locked On Mavericks Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Dallas, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What a finish and what a win. This is why we do it. This is why we keep coming back. This is why we watch this team. Here we go. Welcome into the Mavs Postcast. Not only your team every day, but also in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs. Great to be with you on this Thursday night. Great to see the Mavs come back and pull out that win the way that they did. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Dallas, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Mavs podcast feed, and a big time thanks to all of you that may not be joining us now live, but you are listening at a later time. We love you. We appreciate you. And again, we can't do it without you or your support. Today's episode is sponsored by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to create an account and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And coming up on our show tonight, we will talk about this incredible comeback win. Not incredible, I don't want to go overboard, but a very impressive team comeback win for the Mavs. A game that I think for a lot of teams could have resulted in a loss, but instead the Mavs rallied and found a way to get it done in the final 4 minutes with that run. Lots of good things to see, and we're going to talk more about that because, as I said the other night, we can look ahead to the trade deadline in February 6th and this and that, but the reality is right here and now, as we sit here tonight on the 9th of January, the Cavalry, there's no outside. The Cavalry is right here. There's nobody coming around the mountain here. Everybody that the Mavs need to win are right here on the roster, and they're going to be in uniform for the next at least 3 weeks. So hopefully Kyrie will be back sooner than later. We're going to talk more about him in a minute, but this core group, now it's going to be up to them for at least probably the next 3 weeks to win as many games as they can and find ways to win. And we're going to break that down coming up. We're going to talk about all the big numbers. How about a season high night for Derrick Lively, his big night? PJ Washington leading the way. How about Daniel Gafford? We thought he was going to be out for a while. He came back. That was a very nice surprise. Didn't play a lot, but I thought that the 10-plus minutes that he did play, he had a couple of really key blocks that were very impressive. How about Jayden Hardy off the bench? And I thought some really nice moments in this game for both Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes. And I'm going to talk more about the young guys on the team, but when you talk about this nucleus, the core guys of this young group of Najee and Quentin and PJ and even Jayden Hardy, what he's doing and building every game off the bench since he's come back. I mean, those are the guys with the energy. Those are the guys that can make the stops and make the plays on defense and get you that defense. The D will set you free, and we saw that in stretches tonight. And like I said, this was one of those games where, the Mavs kept coming back, and they couldn't get over the hump, and you're thinking, okay, you don't want to be too critical. They're without Kyrie, they're without Luka. You want to be harsh. They played hard. They had some great runs to get back into the game, but you're thinking, okay, but they're going to lose. And yeah, they were jacked up to beat the Lakers, but they got off to a cold start and they couldn't. But no, that was not how it ended. It didn't end that way, thankfully. They had a fantastic 16-0 run to pull out the win and win the game, and they did that tonight, 117-111. All right, so I am just getting started, just getting warmed up. I know it's cold outside, but we are ready to go here on this show. We've already got the comment crew lining up and getting ready. We want to hear from you. Jump in the comment section. Got a first-time comment, I should say, from Blake. Blake, thanks for getting in early and jumping in. We appreciate that. He is pumped up that the Mavs won, And absolutely, look, you want to get as many wins as you can. Great way to start the homestand with 2 straight wins, and a lot of really good things tonight that we're going to get into. The way the game started, it was, I mean, it's cold. I don't live near the arena, and thankfully it's not snowing where I live, but yeah, I'm just getting a lot of rain, but it's cold. And the Mavs were really cold when this game started. They went 1 for 13. And, it's been, honestly, and I don't mean to harp on this, but it's been one of the weirder schedule years for the NBA, at least to me in recent memory. We talked about that infinitum, right? Just about all the travel and playing all the different games on the road and 4 different 1-game homestands that the Mavs had to play, right? And with the Blazers tonight, again, another kind of a weird quirk. The Mavs tonight played their 4th and final game with the Blazers, and we're in the beginning of January. It's kind of a weird schedule. So my point for bringing that up is that you had a Blazers team that, couple of things. I mean, even though they won big last night in New Orleans, I mean, they were up by 33 at one point in that game last night. They didn't play Klingon in that game last night on purpose. I mean, they purposely, Chauncey Billups' game plan going into this game tonight was, I'm going to rest Klingon. I'm thinking maybe Gafford is going to be out. That's what I'm sure Chauncey thought. And I'm going to rest Klingon and go big and try to beat the Mavs tomorrow and get that back-to-back win for their road trip. And it's a good plan. I mean, a good thought. And they, for 44 minutes, it looked like that was going to happen. But thankfully, the Mavs made sure that didn't happen. But it's kind of a weird thing where they've played these guys 4 times in a little over a month. The Blazers were not intimidated. They knew that Luka and Kyrie were not going to play. And so they just came out very, very loose. And they were just playing with a lot of house money for most of the game, just loose and no pressure. And they had already won big last night. They beat the Mavs in Portland, and they were just jacking up threes. I mean, tonight, Portland, 16 of 36. I mean, 36 threes they shot tonight. I mean, it was just bombs away. And thankfully, I mean, down the stretch, they had a great first quarter, great second quarter, even better third. But in the fourth, Portland only scored 22 points, while the Mavs scored 36. And the Mavs right now are the number 2 scoring team in the fourth quarter. I mean, they know how to finish. I saw a stat earlier today. I think the Mavs were, like, coming in tonight, were 2-4 in 3-point or less games, or in close games, something. And obviously you don't want that. You want that number to flip. You want that to be, you want to be able to pull out those close games, right? But the fact that they're scoring so well, they're averaging, I think, 34 points in the fourth quarters of their games. That's good. I mean, you want teams that know how to finish games and execute late in games and in pressure situations. And as tough as it is right now without Luka and without Kyrie, the fact that they're going through moments. I mean, it's one thing to practice, but you can't practice a game like tonight where you're grinding and you're getting within 3, getting within 4, getting within 5, and then the Portland calls the timeout, and then they go on another 6-0 or 8-0 run to go back up by double digits. You can't emulate that. And so to get to go through this the way that this team did was great. And again, I say it all the time, we love the offense, we love the threes, and love how the Mavs are able to kind of go inside and out and different things that they can do to get their offense going. But I'm telling you, I mean, the D sets you free. And I mean, you saw that. And there were a couple of moments too. I want to point these out before I forget. There was a fourth quarter wide open three that Clay missed, right? And I know it's been a tough month or so for Clay, and he's getting a lot of comments, and a lot of people are calling him out, and a lot of people are even giving up on him, and I get that. I understand, it's hard to ignore some of the timing of some of his misses. I get that. I still believe in him, and I still have faith in him, and I still think the Mavs owe it to themselves to wait until Luka and Kyrie get back and everything kind of gets back to normal or as close to normal. But with that said, I want to compliment, because after that miss, Clay went down and made a really, really nice rebound, defensive rebound, and came back and made a really nice pass. And so little things like that. And then there was also a moment late in the game when Quentin Grimes got charged for that offensive foul, and then he came right back and found a way to make a contribution and help out and made a big bucket. So I like the way that this team thinks. I like the way that they look for opportunities, and they know what they need to do within the team and how to operate within the team without trying to do too much or play hero ball. I always say that a lot. And so there was just a lot of good things like that. And my final thought before our first time out is just that, when you look at the young core, like I said, with PJ and Najee and Lively, and even, like I said, Jayden Hardy and Quentin Grimes, I mean, those are the guys, those are the key young guys, the energy guys that can really make a difference. And it's when they really focus in on defense and really focus in on trying to get those stops that really just sets the tone for everything else. And so I'm encouraged. I feel like every game they're kind of cranking it up and just getting more and more comfortable. And now, right now, the Mavs are in a stretch with this homestand. They play tonight. They have 2 days off, so they'll have at least one good practice day, right? I don't know. Jason might give them the day off tomorrow because they won and they've been traveling a lot. But get one good practice in. Sunday matinee. They got the 2 games with Denver, Sunday and Tuesday, so they'll definitely practice on Monday and be ready to go for Tuesday before a back-to-back. So, like I said, at least for the next few weeks, I mean, this is going to be the group, and to have 6 players scoring double figures the way that they did tonight with 25 off the bench for Jayden Hardy, who had, 18 at one point in the first half. I mean, that's great, especially in a game where Portland was shooting the ball really well, and it was really difficult to get stops until that fourth quarter. All right, we're going to take our first time out, but we want to hear more from the comment crew. You guys rallied and made a big appearance after the Laker game. Want to get you in here tonight. I know Nick and the crew, they're going to be doing their thing in a little bit, but if you want to jump in and participate, that's why we're doing this. We want you to be a part of the show. This is why it's the postcast show. So please jump in, get into the comment section. We want to hear from you. We want to get your thoughts, what you liked, what you want to see, what you maybe were surprised by, what you're thinking, what do these 2 wins tell you? We want to hear from you in the comment section. So please do that and get on board. We got at least another 20 minutes or so in our show tonight. All right. The Mavs get the win, 117 to, what was the final? 117 to 111. There we go, 117 to 111. I'm multitasking here, but this is the Mavs postcast on a Thursday night. All right, you know what time it is. I don't need to tell you what time it is because you already know what time it is, but I know I love going to live events. I love going to games, love sports, music, concerts, theater, comedy, and love every chance I get to go to a game. I mean, the energy, the excitement are unforgettable. Well, now Game Time has made it even easier to get tickets for your favorite events with their new feature, Game Time Picks. That's right. This feature filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time scrolling through thousands of tickets trying to find a good deal or a good location. I had a friend of mine that was looking for seats to an upcoming game, used the Game Time app, used Game Time Picks, and was able to find a great deal. And the other thing, too, is you can even see the view from your seat before you buy. You know, a lot of times you'll buy the ticket and then you'll get to look at where the view is or where your seat is. But no, you can do that before. And the super deal was particularly impressive, offering great seats at unbeatable prices. Plus, the app's all-in picking shows you the total cost all up front. So there's no surprise fees when you go to hit checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, NBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. And one of the things, too, here, today's episode is brought to you by Rocket RX. If you're ready to boost your confidence and take control in the bedroom, Rocket RX has the solution. Imagine feeling more prepared and performing at your best. Rocket RX makes it simple and stress-free. Rocket RX offers FDA-approved treatments for erectile dysfunction at a lower cost than branded alternatives. No more uncomfortable doctor visits or pharmacy trips. Everything is delivered straight to your door in discreet, plain packaging. With Rocket RX, you'll get trusted care from a real U.S. clinical team. Complete a quick 100% online consultation, and you could get your free prescription today. Right now, our listeners can get 40% off to get started now, and it only takes 2 minutes. Right now, our listeners get 40% off your first order when you use code LOCKEDONNBA. That's Rocket RX, code LOCKEDONNBA for 40% off your first order. Terms and conditions apply. Rocket RX, better sex made simple. All right, welcome back to the Mavs postcast. I am Jeff Biggs. Great to be with you. The Mavs get the win tonight at home. They rallied with a 16-0 run late to beat the Blazers 117-111. That is the final meeting of the season already here with Portland. Won't see them again until next season. But we want to hear from you. We don't want to wait until next season or next game. We want to hear from you in the comment crew. So please jump in. We welcome your comments. We want to hear from you. We want to get your thoughts. Like I said, cold start to this game. Only 20 points in the first quarter for the Mavs, but I love the finish. 16-0 run to pull this game out and to win it 117-111. Jayden Hardy with 25 off the bench. Jayden Hardy leading 6 different Mavs in double figures. Ended up playing 29 minutes, but had 25 off the bench. Again, Derrick Lively, the second, a season high, 21 points and 15 rebounds for Derrick Lively. I mean, that was very, very impressive. He also had 3 blocks, as did Daniel Gafford in the game. P.J. Washington had 23. You had 13 off the bench for Quentin Grimes, and then a quiet 17 for Spencer Dinwiddie and 11 for Najee Marshall. And then aside from the double-digit figures, you had Klay Thompson with 3 points, 1 basket and 1 free throw. He went 0 for 4 from beyond 3-point line, did Clay. And then you had two free throws for Maxey, 2 points for Gafford at the line, and that is it. Rebounding tonight for the Mavs, they out-rebounded Portland by 10, 53-43. And again, it was the way that they finished that was very impressive. Also taking a look at some of the other team stats, the Mavs shot 45% from the field, 10 of 30 from beyond the 3-point line. The Blazers were, as I said earlier, 16 of 36. So I mean, they were just jacking up threes. Dallas, though, ended up going to the free throw line 30 times compared to 20, and a lot of that was down the stretch. Rebounds, we told you, 53-43, and points in the paint, big number for the Mavs, 58-38. The Mavs, their largest lead of the game was right there at the end, 6 points, 117-111. The Blazers led at one point, a couple of different times, by 12 before the Mavs came back. And fast break points, this was key too. This goes back to what I was saying about the D will set you free. 24 points off the break for the Mavs, 17 for the Blazers. And again, Dallas with the win improves to 22-16, 12-6 on their home floor at the American Airlines Center. All right, I want to hear from the comment crew. Please jump in. We're going to wrap things up with our final segment. Also coming up, we have an update on Kyrie Irving. We'll get to that and well when we return. The Mavs, though, get the win, 117-111. They beat the Blazers. This is the Mavs Postcast. All right, I want to let you know about something I mentioned the last game, and I want to make and take a moment to introduce to you a brand new mobile game that I'm really excited about. Ultimate College Basketball HC. If you've ever dreamed of being a college basketball head coach, this is your chance to step into those shoes. In Ultimate College Basketball HC, right, you control every detail of your program, from recruiting players and hiring the coaching staff to overseeing training camps, handling NIL deals, and managing scholarships. It's pretty cool, and it's all in your hands. And when it comes to game time, you get to draw up offensive plays. You get to set your strategy. The way that you play won't just affect the current season, right? It will shape the future of your school's basketball program. It's a game that lets you feel the full weight of what it means to be a head coach and to lead your team to glory. So here is a special offer for Locked On NBA listeners. Use promo code Locked On CBB, all caps, inside the game store to get a free boost for your program. It's the perfect way to kickstart your coaching career. All right? To download Ultimate College Basketball HC, just visit ultimatecbb.com or look it up on the app stores. Ultimate College Basketball HC. Begin your coaching legacy today. Okay, our final segment of the Mavs Postcast. Thanks for hanging in there. And again, we still have a little bit of time left. If you want to jump in and be a part of the comment crew, we would love to hear from you. Just you don't even have to use your real name. You can just jump in and share your thoughts. Love to hear from you. What did you think of this win? I like the way that this team is growing. I mean, for so many of these injury-plagued games where Luka was out but Kyrie was playing, or Kyrie was out but Luka was playing, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, we can do this for a game or two, but we know that Luka and Kyrie, everything was going to be kind of back to normal, and so everybody kind of stayed in their lane and stayed in their routine. And what I like about what we're seeing right now is now everybody knows when they show up to the arena every night, they know. I mean, Luka is going to be out at least until the end of the month. We don't know about Kyrie Irving. Head coach Jason Kidd told the media before the game tonight that Kyrie looks good, but he's not doing anything as far as basketball activities. He looks good. That's great. I mean, he looked good on the sidelines, but whether he can play basketball or whether his back is ready to go, we don't know. Maybe we'll have. I would like to think by Sunday, if not before, maybe after one of the practices, we'll have some kind of an update on where Kyrie is and what the new updated prognosis might be. But in the meantime, we know he's going to be out for a while, at least a couple more weeks, if not more. So this group, like I keep saying it, but this group, it's on them. They show up to the arena now, and they know that it's up to them to win games and to handle things until Luka and Kyrie get back. And so I feel like each game, this team is just growing and learning how to play together, and not only learning how to play together, but learning how to win together. It's one thing, anybody can be on the floor together, but when you can find a way as a unit to rally like they did tonight and win the game down the stretch, and I don't care, honestly, I don't care who's playing. I don't care if it's the Pelicans. I don't care if it pick the worst team in the league. I don't care who it is, if the Hornet, whoever, to finish the game on almost the entire game, but to almost end the game on a 16-0 run against another NBA team. That's impressive. I mean, that's not easy to do in the NBA against NBA competition. And the Blazers were playing really well. And I mean, it was a legit question midway through the fourth quarter. I mean, the Blazers kept scoring and scoring and scoring, and it was a legit question: would the Mavs be able to get a stop at some point? And not only did they get a stop, they went on a 16-0 run. So, hey, I think that's very impressive. I like what we're seeing, and I know Jason Kidd has kind of flipped the lineups a little bit, but my hope is that from what we've seen the last couple of games, and now we kind of see where things are, and now that Daniel Gafford is back, I'm hoping that with a good practice that we might see with this group kind of a set rotation with this group, and let them thrive and let them build off of that for the next couple of weeks. And I mean, Tuesday night they came out. I mean, they were sky high. I mean, we see this all the time with the Mavs, right? We see bad teams like Washington or other teams, that we see teams that are not good they were getting jacked up to play the Mavs because of Luka and Kyrie. Well, it was kind of flipped the other night. The Mavs, without Luka and Kyrie, the young guys on the team, they were jacked up to play the Lakers on national TV. And then you follow that with this game tonight against the Blazers team that, again, you've already played them 3 times, and they're kind of a pain. They're big, they score, they shoot a lot, and the Mavs, I mean, they were flat. I mean, there's no way to spin it. It was just not. They didn't do it on purpose. They weren't trying to play down to their competition, but they were flat. And to see them kind of crank it up, and like I said, they could have, well, it's cold, or we were flat, or we were tired, or we didn't have Luka, we didn't have Kyrie. Lots of excuses there to kind of let this one get away, but they didn't do that. They didn't let it get away. They played hard to the end. They finished strong. They finished on a 16-0 run, and again, 6 players in double figures. Loved what everybody did. Derrick Lively, I'm really happy for him because you can tell. I mean, he's trying so hard. He's playing hard. You can tell that he really wants to get better, and you can just see the confidence building in him and in his game, both sides, offense and defense, both ways, every game. And to see the fruit of that, not only with the numbers, but the timing and the key rebounds and the help on defense and the monster dunks and the putbacks when the team really needed a strong dunk for energy and emotion and to get the team fired up was really, really impressive. And I can't say it enough. I mean, we've talked all season long about how I think we all agree that both Najee and Quentin Grimes, that there's a lot more to that ceiling. I mean, there's a lot more. I think I'm excited, genuinely excited to see them get better, right? But man, I mean, to see Jayden Hardy, the way that he is just very quietly, kind of under the radar, just getting better and better and better. Man, I mean, if they could find a way, just to kind of get all 3 of those guys in just set roles where they can really find their niche and their comfort zone within the team, man, it's exciting. And I'll tell you what, and for those of you that are still watching, thank you. And for those of you that are listening, look, I mean, right now you could make the case, well, hey, you know what? There's no Luka, there's no Kyrie, they're playing the Blazers, it's cold outside, whatever. I'll catch this team another time. But you know what? We don't do that. You don't do that. Why? Because we love the team. We love watching them play. And when you see nights like tonight and you see them pull out wins like they did tonight, it's good. It's great. I mean, like I said at the opening of the show, that's what we keep coming back for. That's what we participate, and that's why we follow this team every game, every day, the way that we do. So anyway, with that said, we got a couple of days off before a Sunday matinee with the Nuggets. That will be fun for sure. That will be a different level, and I'm looking forward to that. Sunday and Tuesday with Denver. Tuesday night will be a little bit of a later start, but I will be with you after each of those games. So I hope that you'll be back with us then. Hopefully you'll get into the comment crew and we'll get your thoughts after Sunday's game with Denver. Don't forget, Nick and the crew, Isaac, slightly biased. They're going to be coming up here and they'll be with you the rest of the weekend until Sunday with all the news, the latest on Kyrie, where things stand, any kind of update, trade rumors, everything. They'll have it with the best Mavs coverage in the league with Nick and the Locked On Mavericks podcast. So be sure and check them out. My name is Jeff Biggs. I want to thank you for hanging with me tonight. Again, the final score, the Mavs rally in a big way. They come back and beat the Blazers 117-111 is the final score. This has been the Mavs Postcast. Have a great night and day.